Okay, we're parked on the back side. Got a tour in 15 minutes. We need to get in. Sprinklers. So I guess we could go in this door, but I want to walk around to the front. This is not a front door, but it's still rather opulent. Trying to get the whole building in so I can get a picture. Keep me out of the street, will ya? There, I think that's it. Well, the sun is peeking over it. That makes for a hard photo. Look at the fun fountain.
That's cool.
Yeah. Here's the Capitol. The sun behind the clouds. We're hoping we can go in this way.
That's a real flat kick.
So that is Thomas Jefferson, president. Third president, I think, right?
Third president.
And that's what Jefferson City is named after. Look at the steps. What a fun photo op right here. Can't get it back far enough. I need to be back a little more. There's a photo op. You find him eventually. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but I know what this is. Territory organized in 1812. My ancestors were here long before that. Many lines of them. I really don't know what she is. A goddess of something. Look at, there's some guy with a serpent around his legs. And there's some people, it's like slaves almost. I don't know what that is. I think that's supposed to be an early settler. Because like that's a man with his hand on a horse. And the female is digging. And the child. Oh, these on this side are angels, I think. Oh, here we go. Weekend entrance through the carriage area. We're going in the carriage area. Like back in the day, you could ride your carriage up and drop someone off. Fun. Look at the ceiling.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning, gentlemen.
Got the bust of Thomas Jefferson.
No, I think that's Harry S. Truman.
Oh, Harry S. Truman. Oh, I think you're right. Well, it doesn't say. Whoa, check it out. It does kind of remind me of the Capitol in downtown St. Louis, or the old courthouse in downtown St. Louis. So our tour begins at the end of the museum. We get to have a quick view of the museum as we go to find our tour sign. Oh, cool. There's a classic Missouri Bluff. Awesomeness. Oh, we got a Des Moines Palmyra mail coach. Ha!
Palmyra Mail Coach.
Palmyra. Sometimes I need help saying things. There's danger on the trail. But anyway, I spy our tour sign.
Rubber. It's this wood.
The rubber doesn't meet the road?
It does not.
It does not meet the road. Bumpity bump bump. That'd be so fun to sit in. Look how small that is up there.
It is.
Where the stagecoach person sat.
And drive the coach there.
They would drive it. Here we go. Oh, I guess you could put your luggage up there.
You put your luggage up there, yeah.
And we could go sit in there.
In the front and
You know, they were skinny people. Look at that.
Yeah. So you got,
Yeah, that's how we close our windows.
yep.
And that's how our luggage is carried.
You're hinged
That's
here.
heavy. But you know, if we tumble, it's safe.
Yeah, that is.
The man says we can go out here because it says watch your step.
Oh, awesome. Here's the church.
Oh, fun. It is such a beautiful day out. Fun. And there's the bridge. Oh, that's the cool part. Yeah, that's cool. Upstairs we go. Look at that water fountain.
So these you guys have everything down in the elevator. You just have to deal with the more specific parts of Missouri history. All of these paintings can be explained by the word methodology. All of these paintings would be called net paintings since they are matching with a half nude. That you might hear that word lunar and that word net right there. Just on the other. Just on. They would have met right on the second floor of that building right there where those green shutters are, where the American flag is hanging out the window. That would have been considered our very first Capitol building. So that was only a temporary Capitol building because while they were holding sessions.
Just your recount.
What time period was that again?
1913, 1917 was when this building was built.
Because apparently in 1911 it was struck by
So in 1911 was when that second building was struck.
And then this is,
1913
yeah.
started construction on this building. As far as
Well, I mean, not sure Capitol was up and up, really there's no survivor of it, and why did they meet?
oh, where did they meet? Okay. I'm trying to think.
I did too, but I have to say that.
I'm not sure.
it's okay to say I don't know.
Right up on that. That's a really interesting question. They're a really good question. Where did they meet while they were in the process of building that building?
So here's another hard question. Who was the painter? Because I'm really marveling at how muted the colors are and how they're all pinks and blues. It's much different than some of the other murals I've seen. You know?
The artist for this was a French artist
Ah,
from France.
yeah.
I'd probably pick it up.
Well, that's okay. French painting.
But I know it was a French artist who painted this. This is called the Four Elements of Nature, the Elementals.
Okay.
So over the grand staircase where you see all the water lilies, all that aquatic life, that would be a representation of water. Directly across from us, you'll see all the fruits, vegetables, agriculture, like the earth. To our right, you'll see all the art, crafts, all that would be fire. And directly over us, you'll see air represented by the birds.
Oh, I like that.
Just got tired of keeping up with the maintenance or keeping the maintenance up on the original ceiling. It was very hard to maintain. That's so they just decided to whitewash it. But like I said, they wanted to let people know. Be the mother of waters right there. Mother of waters would be the Missouri. Yep. If you guys,
The father of waters is Mississippi?
Yes.
And I've heard that, and I'm refreshing my memory. So this is the Mississippi, and the Missouri is the mother of waters. I wonder why they ever named it that. I remember that.
Now I'm gonna have you guys stop right on. How many presidents of the state of Missouri?
One, Truman.
All right.
Mark Twain.
This is the Hall of Fame of Missouri. This is all of the best famous people from the state of Missouri. So we are going to be has Sacagawea is an honorable guest in the Hall of Fame Missourian. She was not actually from the state of Missouri, but she was met by Rosie Clark on our commission out west, and so they did it after the Hall of Fame Missourians here. We would have Thomas R. Benton, a famous artist from Neosho, Missouri. Thomas R. Benton is probably one of the most famous artists from the state of Missouri. He was very famous for his act with cabbage. He was very famous for
Johnny Morris, owner of Bass Pro Shops, where everything is big, including his smile.
One of two presidents of the state of Missouri. You guys know what your reaction to this was.
A force to public opinion. It is essential that public opinion should be something. Enlighten something. Doing work. I'm coming. I gotta look at all the architecture. It's super cool. No, never heard of him.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's most people too. David Rice Atchison was a congressman from the state of Missouri to the United States Congress. He would have been in the Congress back in the mid-1800s. Now, when he was in Congress, there was a day after an election year where the president and vice president, there was some mix-up between the transfer of power from the new president or from the incumbent president to the new president there. So there was a day after an election year where the president and vice president were in office to fulfill the roles as president and vice president there. So they had to vote somebody in to become president for a day. And they voted in David Rice Atchison, congressman from the state of Missouri. He was fully sworn in as president. He resided in the White House for a day.
A day.
So he was fully a president of the United States. It wasn't just like, oh, we'll call you president for a day. He was fully sworn in with his. If you open a history book, normally at the back of history books, they have a list of all the presidents. He is not in there. Oh, it's a pressure plate. That's how the door opens.
Wow.
So when I step off the plate, then the door closes.
That is some mural. Wow.
So, this is the Thomas R. Benton mural called The Social History of the State of Missouri. It was painted back in 1936.
Wow. The deep colors are I don't know, it's totally opposite of what's out in the rotunda as far as artistic style.
Yes, it's a very vibrant color.
But there's a lot of shadows. It's very deep.
It's very impressionist.
Impressionist, that's a good word. Yeah, cool.
The beginning point of the painting would be over on this wall. This is a period painting showing all the different periods of Missouri's history, all in order here. So this would be the very beginning of the painting. This would be the late 1700s. This would be at the time when the pioneers first started to come in and settle this area before it was even called the state of Missouri here. And then as we move across the way here, we would see the early 1800s. This would be at the time when we started to build up the smaller towns. Here in the state, we started to move away from the smaller settlements that we did have in the 1700s. And then we would have the mid-1800s. The mid-1800s would be at the time when Missouri became a state, the year 1821. We would have that political rally being held there after Missouri became a state in 1821 there. And then that black cloud there, that would be a representation of the Civil War right there. Mm-hmm. So Missouri was heavily involved in that Civil War. We were actually a split state during the Civil War, since we were founded, even though we were founded as a slave state, we never seceded from the Union, which did cause a very large conflict between the Missourians here in the state during that Civil War there. That's something. I'll give you guys that similarity games, like trying to find the similarities between things.
Oh, I don't know. You have to test me.
Okay, I'll test you guys. I want you guys to find the similarity between this mule and that cow.
Which?
Say when they found out that Benton did that on purpose to make fools out of them, they weren't very happy with them. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Now, over on this wall, this would be the 1900s. This would be at the time of the Industrial Revolution. That would be represented by that dark cloud there where all the factories are. That would be a time when a lot of the inventions that we have nowadays were being revolutionized here. And then you'll notice right over here, this would be St. Louis, Missouri during the 1900s. St. Louis was famous for its beer making. St. Louis, next to Milwaukee, was the beer capital of the world. St. Louis was the founding place of Anheuser-Busch company here. And then over on this wall, we would have Kansas City, Missouri, which is famous for its meatpacking and its politics. Meatpacking is still a staple in Kansas City today. They are very famous for their barbecue. Yeah, press meetings, press conferences, anything like that, they'll hold there.
Okay, so since this is painted, is this just always painted or is it?
And they wanted to donate it to the Capitol building, so they donated.
House gallery. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Now where we are standing, this is the House gallery. This is where civilians can come in and sit when they are in session to watch them as they pass different bills. And the voting system in the House of Representatives is pretty simple. They do use electronic voting, so when they are in session, each of the representatives' names will be on the two black screens in the front of the room when they are voting. And down on their desk, they have a little brown box. On that box, we have a red, green, and orange button. The red button is for if a representative does not want to vote to pass a bill. He will hit the red button, which they have here in the House of Representatives. Over in the Senate, they do still use paper voting. So they still here in the House of Representatives. And then directly above that, we have that stained glass window. That stained glass window is called Glory of Missouri at Peace. It was painted, or not painted. The lady standing on the throne would be a representation of, and after they painted it on that one entire sheet of canvas, he rolled the entire thing up and then shipped it over to the United States, where he then gifted it to the state of Missouri and to its veterans who he had fought with in that First World War right there.
That's incredible.
Do you guys have
Words here, enterprise, progress, honor, virtues, etc.
So all of these words are represented by the stained glass windows that hang over them, and these are just words that as representatives are passing bills, they can look up, and these words can just hopefully help with the integrity of the vote here in the House of Representatives right here. Yep.
I think it's an excellent thing.
Yep. All right. Any other questions?
A great view of the Missouri River. Missouri Veterans Museum.
USS Missouri.
We are just wandering. Vietnam War.
Okay.
Whoa, that's a big boat. What boat is that?
I thought it was.
USS Missouri.
That's what I thought. That's what I accepted. Yeah.
You can look at all the working parts of
Where
it.
Japan surrendered from the USS Missouri in World War II.
Wow.
Battleship. World War I big military purchase from France. Jefferson, 1805, Louisiana Territory.
So this is the Rosedale Mansion, and this is the doorway to it. That's cool. This doorway came from a mansion that once stood in Cape Girardeau in 1839.
What came from where?
This doorway came from Cape Girardeau.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of cool.
Rosedale.
Ah, see? St. Louis and St. Genevieve, the two empires. That's where my family was from. See?
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to tell him. The mighty purchase and a long trek, and the first trade and people. The dude has to walk the grand staircase just so he can say he walked it. Now stop and let me take your picture, Keith. I will take your picture on the grand staircase. Hold on, let me zoom in. Ready? Look at me. Goof. Party honesty is party expediency. Lord God of hosts, be with us yet, lest we forget. Ideas control the world. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Property is the fruit of labor. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. And righteousness exalteth a nation. Beginnings in St. Charles. And the move to, somebody's whistling. First Capitol building in Jefferson City. Somebody's testing out the acoustics in the Capitol. 1837 to 1911. The second Capitol, which is right where the first was, that had a copper dome that caught fire from a lightning strike in 1911. Oh my goodness, look at the pictures.
Oh, wow.
And then the Capitol was rebuilt on the same spot. And that's the third one in Jefferson City.
Remnants of the dome later collapsed after several days of heavy rain. So many people came to see the damage and some collected souvenirs. So there's some families out there that have some things that were in the Capitol.
All the day long.
Here's the answer. The legislature was forced to meet in different buildings around Jefferson City during the rest of the 1911 session.
Missouri state government. We learned that in high school or elementary school. Here's the Missouri state model. So that's the words that were at the front on the podium, I guess you would call it. Let the welfare of the people be the supreme law. So this is the Mississippi River statue, and one on the other side that we were wondering what it was is the Missouri River statue. So this statue is the male figure, represents the Mississippi River, often called the Father of Waters. He holds on his left hand the rudder. The left hand is the rudder of commerce, the rudder of commerce, and the anchor of a steamboat representing the significance of river trade. And in the right hand was the magic wand of Hermes, the god of travelers. that goes on in commerce. So he rests upon cornucopia, symbolizing agriculture. The alligator by his knee is a reminder of what life is like on the southern portion of the river. The dolphin behind him, I don't see a dolphin. That's a dolphin, because then there's little fish underneath it.
I guess.
It's the symbol of good luck for travelers of the river, and the three smaller fish, oh, I see this three smaller fish, represent the river as a source of fishing and recreation. We are standing at the front of the Capitol, looking like tourists. That we are, with our pamphlets. So we have here, you see the Mississippi River statue, and the Missouri River statue, and the Thomas Jefferson statue, which is there in the middle. And across the ways, we have the Fountain of Science, which is this fountain. And we have the Fountain of Arts, which we saw earlier. It's right here. And what's the red building?
I believe that's the Supreme Court.
We think that's the Supreme Court building.
Maybe.
So right there, we're looking at the thing on top of the building. And we read about it. It's a Ceres, or whatever that is, 400 feet above the river on the top of the Capitol Dome is the statue of Ceres by Sherry Fry Ceres, and it's a Roman goddess of grain and agriculture, and therefore was selected as a patron goddess of Missouri, a strong agriculture state. Her left hands hold the sheaves of grain, and she extends her right hand forward in a perpetual blessing over the state. So it would be great if it was a Christian blessing.